From the bottom of my heart, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching
For watching this guy's channel,
No,
Jody's
my God.
channel.
Jody's Corner.
Y'all.
My favorite.
Thank you so much. YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Got some news for you guys. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about this in the live stream today, Friday, but I really felt the need to talk about this myself and give you guys my opinion. Welcome to Jody's Corner. So it looks like James Gunn will write and looks like he's going to direct the next Suicide Squad film. So we're going to get into the intricacies of this story, and we're going to read the article, and we're going to dive in, sink our teeth into this juicy topic. But first, I'm going to go ahead and give like a disclaimer. So I know that James Gunn has a lot of, he has a really troubled past when it comes to like pedophilic content. You know what I'm saying? He said some real sick shit on his Twitter, and I definitely believe this guy is a weirdo. That's just my personal belief. But when I said on Twitter, I sent out that I think that James Wan should direct Batman, Patty Jenkins should direct The Last Son of Krypton, the Superman movie, and since you have James Gunn, go ahead and let him direct The Flash. I think he would have been a really good Flash director based on his directing style and his previous films. And also, this is a good pick for him as far as his talents go to direct Suicide Squad. But the reason why I said that is not me just basically validating or promoting or lobbying for someone who's been accused of being a pedophile. It ain't about that. It's because I've always knew that James Gunn was hired by Warner Brothers, and I've always known that James Gunn was going to direct, that was going to do the Suicide Squad movie. I already knew he was going to direct a DC FU film. I always knew that was going to happen. So it's kind of like, I don't want him to do it, but since Warner Brothers is set on having him, there's nothing I could do to stop it. So now let's utilize your talent. And that's why I said the tweet that I said. So I just want to be clear on that. Personally, I don't agree with none of the shit that this man has been accused of. And I think he's a freaking weirdo. That's just being 100. But I am able to separate the man from the craft. And that's what I'm doing here. And James Gunn does have really excellent directing capabilities for a certain type of movies. And that's why we're going to delve deep into this right now. So let's go ahead and check into this movie news here. So James Gunn in talks to direct Suicide Squad sequel. An exclusive taken from The Hollywood Reporter of January 30th, 2019. So reading this article, it says, James Gunn is returning to the director's chair. Gunn, who was fired from helming the third installment of his Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, is in negotiations to direct the second Suicide Squad film, the follow-up to Warner Brothers' 2016 hit that featured DC Comics anti-heroes as the leads. The move is not entirely unexpected, as Gunn was already writing the script for the sequel, which Warner Brothers just slotted for an August 2021 release date. The deal-making does, however, solidify that the new Suicide Squad will be his next directional effort. Disney fired Gunn from his Marvel franchise in July after old tweets from 2008 and 2009 resurfaced in which he made insensitive and controversial jokes. The pick has the title of The Suicide Squad and is not being labeled as a direct sequel, but as a relaunch. So that's huge news right there. So, and I think that's fantastic news, by the way. The fact that this is not going to be a sequel to that garbage Suicide Squad movie that came out by that mediocrity director-writer David Ayer is a good thing. Because you're able to shift and turn things around. You know what I'm saying? You're able to do more of
From the bottom of my heart, you guys.
Of like a rewrite type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you could change characters up the way they should be changed in order to fit the DCFU. What I mean is you could shift around Margot Robbie's character to be more accurate or maybe lighthearted or whatever. You could eliminate certain members like that trash Croc, BET, garbage. You could eliminate whack fools like Captain Boomerang. I think they should give Katana another chance because they really didn't give her anything. So you can make the necessary adjustments with doing stuff like this, not making it a direct sequel. So that lets me know that Warner Brothers DC is trying to fix the overall narrative of their overall universe. Even though they said that they're trying to make films less Marvel-y as far as like connecting every single movie to one big picture, I really believe they're working on solo efforts like they said. But I also believe that they're still tying the films in together. And that's exactly why this is pretty darn good news. So it's being labeled as a relaunch. The 2016 original movie featured characters Deadshot, Harley Quinn, the Joker, Captain Boomerang, and Killer Croc, who are forced into service for the government in exchange for lighter prison sentences. Sources say that Gunn's focus is to take the franchise in a new direction with a mostly all-new cast of characters and actors. Wow, that is cute. See, this is my first time reading it, and that shit just made sense with what I just said. Sources also say that the project is also very much rooted in Gunn's vibe as seen in Guardians of the Galaxy. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why this is fantastic news from a creative standpoint. Because imagine, I just seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that is the most beautiful MCU film ever made. There is no film that looks visually better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. James Gunn directed that film. It was fantastic. It's one of my top 5 MCU movies. It's my number 5, I believe. Love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A lot of people like the first Guardians over Part 2, but I don't. I like 2 way more than Part 1. So imagine, you know, that funny, has times where it can be dark, emotional, lighthearted. But imagine that a little bit edgier with more stakes, because this is Warner Brothers, baby. We don't play that bullshit. So imagine, I could see that type of world, those type of characters, that type of direction style really being applied to something like the Suicide Squad. And just to know that he's going to recast most of the actors, only one I see that's safe is Margot Robbie. We know this because we just got that promo, that whack promo of Birds of Prey. So we know that Margot Robbie is still going to be playing Harley Quinn. So we could pretty much say that she's safe. So here are the characters here. Harley Quinn, safe. Deadshot, I think that he was one of the better parts of Suicide Squad. That's Will Smith. I don't know if they're able to get him for a nice amount of money where it's for a budget. I say keep Will Smith as Deadshot, and I'm going to stop there. Those are the only 2 characters that are safe in my opinion, because Jared Leto's Joker, sayonara. Captain Boomerang, sayonara. And Killer Croc, you know good and god dang well you up out of here. Go home and watch your BET. So Zack Snyder, Deborah Snyder are acting as executive producers, and Gunn is rep by the UTA. So that's really what's going on. So now, it's really important that you guys understand that it's really important to separate the man from the craft. I say that a lot, but it's a real serious thing. Because, this man, James Gunn, has been accused for a lot of shit. And I don't necessarily want him to be working for Warner Brothers. I really don't. But Warner Brothers does. And there's nothing that I can do about that. But now that we know this, I really think this is a good choice as far as his talent. Him personally, freak him. I don't really like him like that. But professionally, this man is a pretty darn good director. And I think this is an excellent pickup choice. Now, I ask you guys as my viewers to do something for me as well. It's really important that we all are able to see someone's craft and respect that and make it separate from who the person is. I say that because a lot of us tend to not do that. Like Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld. Seinfeld is my all-time favorite TV show, right? So Cosmo Kramer, Michael Richards. Once he said the racial slurs, he was done. And I'm for it. Freak you. But that's Michael Richards. Does that mean I'm not supposed to love Kramer anymore? I still love Kramer just as much. And that's because Kramer was a character. It was his profession. It's not him. Just like James Gunn directing a film. That's not James Gunn. That's just him directing a movie. It's not him personally. So I think we should look at it the same way. Mel Gibson, bruh, said a lot of racist shit. You know, freak him, he got caught up. I get it. But there ain't no denying that this man is one of the best directors in Hollywood. Mel Gibson is one of the best directors of all time, if you ask me. His movies knock, and they hit hard. He doesn't have a bad movie. He don't know what a bad movie is. You got to separate him from the, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he was snubbed for Hacksaw Ridge. He was snubbed for Hacksaw Ridge and as best director. And I get it. That was them being personal. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. These are just little instances of what I mean by separating, you know. Now there definitely is a threshold. Murderers and actual rapists and stuff like that, then I can understand you just not wanting to support them at all because they've actually done it. This man was accused. He's not convicted or nothing like that. Like, I think about the director who directed Jeepers Creepers, right? He raped a boy and went to prison for like a year. He was convicted. That motherfucker is a child molester. So I understand. Separate the craft. Freaking screw you. I ain't supporting nothing you do. And I get that. Now, if you want to not support this film because James Gunn's directing it, I'm not going to knock you for that either, because your personal beliefs are what's more important. But those people who are on the fence of like, I don't know, those people who don't have a real belief, a real stern perspective on how they should feel about a situation like this is the advice I give. Some of you already have your mind made up, and I'm not trying to change your mind. The advice I'm giving is to the ones who are kind of on the fence or kind of don't know what to really go with as far as how to take this. Do I support it? Do I promote it? Is it bad? Should I go against it? Should I hate it? Am I wrong for hating it? I'm just trying to really just speak to you guys on that level. But you guys know personally how I feel. Personally, I'm not for it. Professionally and for the better of the universe, I definitely think this is a great thing, and I do support. I think that this is a good choice. And I'm perfectly fine professionally that this is going to be a good thing. So that's what it looks like. James Gunn directing Suicide Squad. Imagine the type of things that this man can do. Like, he can take the Suicide Squad because, and the fact that he's going to bring all new casts into this thing. Now, Batista's out there. Batista and James Gunn are best friends. Very good friends. Batista almost sabotaged his entire career for James. Now, I don't know if this is going out on a limb or not, but I'm going to say it. I believe that James Gunn will cast Batista in the Suicide Squad film. And he just might be Croc. Put some stuff on him. I love Drax. He was one of my favorite MCU characters. He's the funniest MCU character, hands down, to me. But I think that he'll cast Dave Batista because Batista really sacrificed a lot for him, hurt his career a little bit, I think. And James Gunn is going to repay him for his loyalty, I think, by giving him, hey, bro, come on over here to Suicide Squad, bro. I got you, man. So I think that's what's going to happen. Expect Dave Batista to come on over. And I don't know who they would cast for anything else. Captain Cold, you can get anybody. Deadshot, Will Smith, I think they did a good job. I think this is looking pretty darn bright. The only problem is I looked at Margot Robbie in a negative light because of the Harley Quinn stuff. Seeing that Birds of Prey really turned me off. But I know it's a Me Too era now, and it's a woman empowerment movement we're going through. And I'm all for the women empowerment, but I'm not for the man hate. And it looks to me like this film, that Birds of Prey film, might be a little bit of the both. Women empowerment and man hate. I just hope they don't make men look like idiots. But we'll get there when we get there. That's just my overall thoughts about it. You know, a trailer could definitely change my mind. I can't wait to see a trailer for this, though. This is going to be something special. I am now from the point where I'm like, Suicide Squad, to the point where I'm like, okay, Suicide Squad. This could actually be a top tier DC movie. And box office wise, depending on how the world looks at them, I can see Suicide Squad cracking $1 billion. Not Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad. Definitely can see that. So thanks for checking out this video. Thank you guys. Subscribe to the channel for more real content, real news, real opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you like the real. And that's for real. Shout out to y'all, man. I am Jody Joe, and I am out this thing, man. Deuces.